They say health comes first. Free of living right here on healthy living right here on
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want everyone to please take your seats as we are about to present you with Healthy Haven's 4th live show. And now, let's bring on the very lady who created this show so that we can all achieve 21st century information to help you reach optimal health. And gathering us together to create a healthy haven here on Earth, your producer and host, Anna Lee Miss.
Hello everyone and welcome to Healthy Haven Live, the one and only live health talk show here in San Diego. It is an honor for me to be your host here today. If any of you happen to have seen us on KUSI News on Friday, you will know that we were discussing this exact show, and I'm so glad you're able to experience it firsthand. I want to start by saying that this show is not a one-man show. It takes a village to do what we just did here today. I'm talking day and night with all kinds of people helping us out to make this work. And I want to start by saying thank you so much to our DJ Danny Aon from Aon Events. He has been with us since day one. We are now on our 4th show and still going strong, and there's more to go from this one. So thank you, Danny, for always being here for us. I also want to, I couldn't do this without my daughter. Believe it or not, she's only 15, and talk about talent. Everything that you're about to see here tonight pretty well came from her. I'm talking the PowerPoints, the balls that you have, everything that you see in your handbooks done by her. So I really want to thank Tanya Mintz for that one. And of course my family in general, David, all of them, they helped me so much, so that's huge. I want to welcome all the new people that are here for the first time, and the ones that are here for the first time and the ones that are experiencing it. You're all going to receive 21st century information here today. So thank you for being here to experience that. Now, in case the viewers are at home and they're watching it on YouTube, which is exactly where all this is being recorded, on YouTube or on my website, they're probably going to notice that we're not in the same place where we usually are. We have had our past 3 shows at the Civic Center, so if they're very observant, they're going to notice this is not the same setup. And you're right, it's not. We are at the Encinitas Library because the San Marcos Civic Theater is being remodeled, and they accommodated us beautifully over here. So thank you for that, and we are here now for that. So that's one thing. I also wanted to make sure, first of all, I do want to tell you though, that there is nothing like being in a Healthy Haven show live, okay? And in order for it also to be recorded, which is what these lovely gentlemen are doing today, we have 3 volunteer gentlemen who video this entire event for us, okay? And we couldn't, it's thanks to them that we can actually experience watching it on our own time. I want to thank Jonathan Henry, Georgie Avalos, and Lourdes Garcia. Thank you so much for the time you take voluntarily to video this so we could see it at home if we can't make a show. I also want to make sure that everybody got something when they walked in from our lovely Marines. Gift balls, did everybody get a stress relief ball? It looks something like this. You can squeeze it when you get stressed, because we do not want to be in a healthy haven and stressed at the same time. So hopefully you got one of those. You're also supposed to have gotten a wristband that says, create a heaven here on earth. This is to make you health conscious, so that when you step out of here, you're always thinking of natural health to stay well. And you also should have got water from Palomar Mountain. We're gonna promote that water today, and I'll explain to you why it's such a wonderful water, so hopefully you wanna keep you hydrated during the show. So hopefully you got one of those. And last but not least, our priceless handbook. I say priceless because there is so much information that will keep you well from head to toe. There's sponsors in there at the very back that help sponsor this show. Another thing is we have never ever had Healthy Haven t-shirts till today. So this is the first time, and I want to thank San Marcos Big Frog for sponsoring that. Taylor McNeely sponsored those, and some of our staff are already wearing it. There's DJ Danny and our sergeant's wearing it, so we want to thank them for that. It's the first time. And we're going to get started. I want to make sure, but before I go on, who is here ready to reach optimal health? Let's have a hand for reaching optimal health today. All right, I love the energy. I love the energy. This show is growing ongoingly, and I just love it. I just want to let you know, though, You're going to receive a lot of information here, probably things that you've never heard before, and it's going to sound foreign to you. What we'd like you to do for your own sake while you're here is take notes, and we have paper over there with Healthy Haven notes, which one of our Marines is going to be ever so kind to go around and hand you it. So just raise your hand if you need some paper and a pen. Please take notes. And here's another really good tip. Sometimes you take notes, but if you don't actually put it to use within 24 hours, and I'll tell you the secret of how to put it to use, you share it with somebody. You actually go and teach them what you just put on your notes, and that will help you retain the information for a longer period of time. It was actually proven to do that. So, are we all set? We're going to be out of here by 6:15, so please take notes, and we're going to get started right now. I'm going to give the stage to DJ Danny, who's going to tell you about how you can win some raffles as well.
All right, guys, so to make the show more fun and to keep you on your toes during these presentations, you will get a chance during the break and before the second half of the show to win a raffle ticket by simply answering a question correctly from our Healthy Haven quiz. There are over 20 prizes to give away, so pay close attention. And now we'll focus our attention back to Anna and get to the valuable information we are all here for today.
All right, thank you, Dan. We're going to get through the disclaimer, which is the formality of the show. Keep in mind, the disclaimer is in your handbook with a bunch of other good stuff. If for whatever reason, please, you guys, you don't want your handbooks, that has lots of really good tips in it and lots of interesting things like how you can get specials to get a free session with me and all that, please give it to someone who will find value in it, or just leave it here if that's another option. All right, as for the disclaimer, we want to let you know we are not medical doctors. We are not here to diagnose anything at all that you may have. However, all the information that you are going to receive are from webinars, articles, health professionals, and I just combined it for you to make it easy and more fun to learn. And I just want to let you know, I used to be a school director in a school, and to me, education, because my background is drama and education, it's to teach through the use of drama. And that's what made me want to do a show like this today, to present you with 21st century information, but in the funnest way you can have it. Okay, so we're going to try and make this all really fun. So congratulations on taking the time to seek all varieties of information to help you decide what's better for you at the end of it all. So if something's new to you, take it, go home with it, Google it further, okay? I'm just bringing it to your attention that it exists. All right. Now, there is a show motto here, and the show is creating heaven here on earth, okay? These cheerleaders used to be here on our first show. They couldn't make it today, they're doing a showcase, but we are gonna still get a feel of the motto. The LCC cheerleaders, so we want to still keep the motto of the show going. A little bit about me. I'm a certified healthcare practitioner, but I was certified through Total Health Mastery. I specialize in nutrition, consultation, and detoxification. The main modality I use is the emotion code, and that is through Dr. Bradley Nelson, which we will talk about further. And like I said, I do have a degree in drama in ed, which is to teach through the use of drama. So why this topic? Well, let's find out why this topic. This is my dad, and in October, my father, who used to be a very healthy, strong man, as you can see in the top corner over there, he actually was a sergeant in the Army. He passed away at the age of 83. His favorite foods, might I add, are Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's, and he loved, well, my kids loved their grandpa, and it's a rare opportunity for them. When they spend time with him, all they had fun doing basically is spending time with him, but he offered them cookies and sodas and candies, and I looked like the bad guy every single time because I had all this gluten-free stuff, right? So that wasn't fun. At the age of 40, however, my dad developed diabetes and shingles. It's a very early age to start all that. You will notice on the bottom picture, it would be to your right, I'm literally mud packing his swollen foot, okay? It started to get really big, couldn't fit it in his shoe anymore. He had shingles, all kinds of pain. So that was a signal. To him, it always felt like it was on fire. That's what shingles feels like. He didn't want to go through any medical treatments. That's him over there when he got misdiagnosed and undetected for stomach cancer, 4th stage stomach cancer, and it started to eat him up really, really quick. So when I came down, by the way, he lives in Canada, I'm in the United States here. So I just found out from my brother that, you know what, you better come right away, we just got the news. And I'm like, oh my, that is sudden, how could they not have detected it? But mind you, he never hesitated to take medication, and lots of it. It's like he had a candy store there, and you know, he just was popping them, but they weren't really happy. They weren't really helping him. Over time, when I went down there, I thought, you know what, there's gotta be some root cause. What caused all this? So for me doing my testing on him energetically, I found that his shingles and his diabetes came from this type of food. That's where that came from. And his cancer, as far as I saw on his liver, was from all the red meat. And these are just some of the things I saw in his cupboard, and I was appalled by it. Canola oil, which we all know is not the greatest. It's all GMO chips, you know, marshmallow spreads, cookies, of course, you know, all that good stuff that keeps us healthy. But he felt it was too late for a major change. So I come along, and mind you, we thought we were gonna go there to say goodbye. And I come there, and he was really not in good shape at all, lying in bed. I now bring my stuff. Let's see what my stuff is. Okay, so for starters, he had his own liver stuff that he had in the cupboard already. And it was fine, because I remember when I went to visit the first time, I said, you know, you really should start cleaning your liver. I mentioned that when I saw his leg all swollen up. So that's fine, he had that. But then I brought things like mushroom root. I brought him some beet powder. Up there's veggie protein, and guess what? He survived even longer, so much so that we ended up all going back home. And then my husband and I went later, because when we left, no one was really giving him too much more of this good stuff while I was gone, and then he really started to go downhill. So this is what ended up happening. We went back to visit him, and after being diagnosed, he then thought it was too late for a major lifestyle change. But he welcomed sharing this information on his behalf to prevent this from happening to anybody else. So that's why we're here today, and I want to actually I'm dedicating this show to my dad, Morris, who passed away on October 17th, and I applaud his one moment when he was about to go to bed for the night, right there, and this is what he said, and that's why we're here today. He said, Anna, on your way out, please take the bread and Danish to the trash outside. I happily did that, but in my head I thought, oh, if only we started doing that a month or a year or 2 years ago, okay? So that's how that felt. Okay, we're gonna start now by going through what is autoimmune, so why we're even here today. I do wanna let you know though, there's no reason to feel like you have to go through that. That is why we're doing this show. We do wanna stress that these conditions can easily be prevented and reversed, and that's why we're here today. So, what is an immune disorder? Let's go through this. It's when and by the way, remember, whenever you read something new, keep in mind, we're gonna have a quiz game. And this quiz is, you never know what questions are gonna be asked, but during our break, I'm gonna ask you some of these. So pay really close attention, think of what might be asked, and then that way you can win a free raffle for our big prizes, okay? So it's when the body's immune system attacks your healthy cells. Your immune system is designed to guard against germs like bacteria and viruses, and will send fighter cells to attack them. But it can only do so if your immune is healthy, not toxic, with chemicals, poor diet, stressful lifestyle, and a variety of other reasons. Some basic preventions for avoiding autoimmune disorders or disease. You can almost, I'm going to give this one away. I am going to ask you on your quiz question what disease is. So here it is. Disease. Another way of saying that your body is not at ease. Beware of the warning signs. If you have joint pain, skin rashes, emotional reasons like anxiety, they are all symptoms, not the root of your cancer, okay? As a certified emotion code practitioner, I can tell you right now that 85% of health issues are emotionally related, and that's the specialty that I do with the emotion code. I find that a lot of women that come see me, let's say they have breast cancer or lost a loved one, usually it's related in their breast. It's that kind of thing that affects their breast. Then you go into the liver, and there's people who are angry, and they hold grudges, and they can't seem to forgive. Well, that goes right to the liver. They end up with liver conditions. So having these stored negative emotions can be considered to be emotionally toxic. So here's my lovely man, Dr. Bradley Nelson. He is the founder of the Emotion Code. He states that there are 60 negative emotions, and guess what? They are stored in our subconscious mind. You ask, what is the subconscious mind? It is the blueprint to your entire body. It knows exactly why you have these conditions, how you felt in your mother's womb, believe it or not. Can you imagine that? It even knows that. And I am certified to remove them, so if you visualize an onion, I peel them off layer by layer by layer till your condition's gone. And these emotions can affect you physically, okay? There's physical pain, like allergies, digestion, misalignment. So those of you that do have allergies, believe it or not, they're emotionally related. Mental issues, ADD, Alzheimer's. Emotions such as depression and anxiety fall under emotional. This is what is in your handbook. That's why these handbooks are so valuable. You will have one of these somewhere in the back. I will offer you all that are here today an up to 15-minute session to remove any one of these conditions and more. If you walked in, you'll notice in one of the tables, there's about back-to-back pages of maybe 40 or 50 things you can get done with the Emotion Code. Again, I will offer you a session to see what's going on, and it's worth coming to check out what we can remove. And do remember that emotions also affect our pets. And there's a lot of rescue animals out there that are biting their fur, okay?
And I don't mean to interrupt, but wouldn't this be a great time to bring out our new co-host to assist you in presenting all this valuable information?
Oh my God, Danny, I could sure use the help. Please bring him on. We want to welcome our Sergeant of the Marines, Chris Fisher. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm truly fortunate to have him as a co-host. Thank you. Oh, wonderful. All right, Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you here too, because he was, when he heard about this show and I heard his story, I thought, oh, this is the guy, we got to bring him on. He's got such an interesting story with, what he believes with all these conditions and what we can do. So please share it with us.
Well, again, thank you, audience, for having me. Thank you, everybody. Like she said, I'm a sergeant in the Marine Corps. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and everything she's saying here, I do believe in because I actually reversed it using healthy exercise and a lot of things she's talking about. So it's a blessing to be here, and that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Well, we're going to go through our PowerPoints together because my voice would be very boring if it's just me talking. So we're going to have a little bit of variety here, and Chris and I are going to share the screen. If you choose to take snapshots or pictures of these, please do so. Just try and do it from your seats because there's a lot to write down, and we're just going to let you just take a picture of it if you want. You can review it at home. So we're going to start with quality sleep. The body wants at least 6 hours of straight sleep with minimal interruptions. So sleep, what does it do for us? It allows the body to repair and recharge. Those are the main things that you need sleep for. And make sure to start to unwind an hour prior and have no electronics around you. You cannot imagine how much that bombards your melatonin in your brain. Avoid any food or liquids 2 hours prior to sleep so the body is not working hard trying to break it down. Okay, we want it to rest. We don't need it to be doing anything. All right.
So with there being sleep, there's also the circadian rhythm, and that's pretty much how it's your body's clock. When you would decide to go to sleep, you would try to pick the same time every day. And generally, you want to have go to sleep around 10:30, but you want to make sure you unwind before. So a good, nice, easy couple things to get you ready before you go to sleep are going to help you get into that groove of that. And also, the best quality sleep, like we said, is to be in bed about 10:30. There's a device in your handbook. It's called the C Balance, and it's actually you can find more information about it in your handbook. But it helps you go to sleep and helps you get that 6 hours that she's talking about.
Thank you. And regarding the C Balance, I'm actually wearing one right now. I bought it and I absolutely love it. It scans your body and it tells you where your body's circadian rhythm when it's off, and it will keep balancing it all day long. Your body's constantly being in the right frame of rhythm and energy level that it should be. Helps you sleep. There's a program for sleep. You just click the button. If you're about to go on stage like right now, you just click another button. It says calm. Okay, so it's amazing, and if you would like to know more about it, it is on my website, and I always encourage people again and again to go on that website. It's naturalhealthyhaven.com. You'll see supplies there, all kinds of things that you can check out. Okay, and I will show you my C-balance if anyone wants to see what it looks like after the show. Energetic toxicity. Okay, get your home remediated. This is probably one of the best things you can do, because you know what? I find people that come to see me and they release all their emotions. At the end, I go into the body code. And the body code checks the last 15% of why they have their condition. And I found a lot of people, guess what, are affected by EMFs. EMFs standing for electric magnetic frequencies. Every one of you, I guarantee you, has an iPhone in here. There's Wi-Fi floating around in this room. The mics that we're using, everything. It's affecting our overall well-being, and people don't realize that. So, and also beware of the 5G. Research literally shows it affects your brain, your focus, your immune system, your heart, and so much more. And guess what? We finally have 5G bands, because it's about to come up. I'm telling you, you're gonna not feel yourself. And you're gonna wonder, you're gonna run to the doctor probably, and he's gonna say, oh, I can't tell you what it is, just go get better sleep. But you can, because the 5G's floating around, okay? So we now have adult bands, wristbands, you can actually wear them, and kids bands and adult bands. So please check them out. There's Jordan at the back. He is full of great stuff for you to check out today. So go look at that. Also, on the first show, the second half of the first show, we had Corey Hillis. Okay, he is the president of EMF Solutions. He came down and did an entire PowerPoint presentation showing every little thing of how it affects your brain, blood work that was done. You really want to check that out. So we're not going to do that on this show. That was our first show, but I'm letting you know where to go to get more information. And it is known as the silent killer. Please check out your products in your handbook. And I don't mind going through them really quickly right now, because Jordan's probably gonna have a whole bunch of you going to the back table all at once. But at least you'll know what you might be interested in when you go through the back. Let's start right there with the Home Harmonizer right there. That box, we only have one that we brought with us, okay? That box can remediate an up to, I believe, 2,500 square foot home. All you have to do is attach that box to your electrical box outside the home, and your home is grounded. It'll be great. This here, that is a sleeping bean bag. You put it under your pillow. I have it under my pillow. You can put it under a baby's mattress. If you've got a very cranky baby, try putting that under there. It'll ground them, okay? This, I love this one. I take this on airplanes. When I travel in airplanes, it is called the room harmonizer. It will literally harmonize a room. So just a room, not a house. So let's say, like us, we went to a hotel, and my son, as soon as we got there, says, I'm getting a really bad headache. I'm like, oh, I wonder if it's something you ate, and I started getting it too. I thought, I didn't eat anything funny, I don't know why. I opened the curtains, and guess what I see? Cell towers. They were literally right in front of my window. So I couldn't change the room. The whole hotel was packed. I thought, okay guys, here's what we gotta do. We leave the room, we'll go out to eat, and we're gonna plug that in. 4 hours later, and that's what it took, 4 hours later, that remediated the entire room. It didn't even feel the same. Brand new room. You can also put that in airplanes. If they have, some of them have plugs underneath, you can literally stick it by your feet, and everyone around you is gonna feel amazing, okay? Laptops. How many of you have laptops and you're on them all day long? There it is right there. We have chips for laptops, okay? So 2 of them, you need 2. They're in a package of 2. You just put them underneath the battery part over there. These are the 5G bands I was talking about. There's the adults, and then, no, the adults are right there, the white and black ones, and then the kids have the 2 different colors. They got pink and black. I love this. I wear this all the time too with my C-Balance, and that is a patch. You can put that in your pocket, or you can put it in your shirt, and that will ground you too. Very powerful, and let me tell you, these things never ever expire. That's what's good, they're always gonna be working for you. This, we bought a big screen TV in our house. I got dizzy looking at it. I thought, wow, what the heck, you know, and it wasn't even the bright colors. It was just letting out so much EMF. I just took that clip and I stuck it on the wire, and it grounded the whole TV. I mean, it's like looking at it, no headache, no nothing. There's that Better Z's I was telling you about, you can put under your pillow. There it is again, and this one here, my kids cannot leave home. I would not let them leave with an iPhone without that chip behind it. You can tape it on in case you change your case. So just take it off, tape it, and you can put it back on. And this is the last but not least. This is a car harmonizer. It will charge your phone, but it will also remediate your entire car. So if you're driving in long distances, and you start to feel groggy and you're starting to wonder, oh my God, I'm getting so tired, I hardly went a few miles, probably because there's a lot of EMFs coming out of your car as well. So there's the solution. These are solutions right there. All right, daily exercise.
So, on top of all those things, my specialty, daily exercise. From running, jumping, crying, being miserable, getting out of your comfort zone, that's exactly what we're gonna do. But, that's my lifestyle. If you are not with that, if that's not your cup of tea, you can actually do a lot more things like walking, hiking, hopping on the trampoline, just doing anything physical. And there's also another thing in your brochure you'll see, it's the Sonic Life Machine. So the Sonic Life Machine, I actually got a chance to try it before for 20 minutes, and it's kind of it's a different style of workout. So it's basically a total of 20 minutes a day, and it stimulates the cells in your body, it tones the muscle, and it also has lymphatic drainage, and a lot more other details that you can actually go over. If you let her know in the back, go over the brochure.
Yeah, I actually have the Sonic Life, so he tried it out at my house. I'm on it every single day. It's a lifesaver because I can't always get to the gym, although, you know, it's ideal. I'm a member of the gym, but this thing is right in my house, 10 minutes on auto, 10 minutes on manual. And it's got about 80 things that it can do. Basically, you just button, I have, lymphatic drainage. I'd like to press that button, it does that. You know, whatever it could be, back pains, like even balancing your hormones. You just click the buttons and it'll help you with that. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, quality water. Well, we got it firsthand today. We got Palmer Mountain water, and what's so great about this water? Okay, it's the 5th best largest water in the world. That's what's so best about it, and we live locally where we can get it right from here. So we wanted to promote that. Again, we want to thank Palmer Mountain for sponsoring the water every time we have a show. And the water has no fluoride or chlorine. So you're thinking, well, I could take out the fluoride and chlorine with the other ones. No, actually, Palmer Mountain naturally has it taken out. And there's no water from a man-made machine that can remove all the fluoride because the molecules are too small. So we really, really promote that. And also I want to suggest a shower filter. Keep in mind your skin is the largest organ in your body. So yes, you're ingesting good water, but what about when the water showers you? Especially, think about this, the steam. As soon as it starts to get hot in there, you're going to get affected by the chlorine going into your pores.
So with clean water, you can also make sure that you're eating clean. So a healthy diet will pretty much cure just about anything you're dealing with. Plant-based diets is the best when you're detoxifying, and you also want to make sure you avoid the starchy carbs. I found that to be one of the reasons why I was diagnosed with diabetes, because I was real big on carbs, the Burger King, just as her father was, and then we find in turn that that's actually something that we should stay away from. So just keep in mind that cancer lives off of sugar, and those things, every little decision that you do, every time you reject the cookies in the Burger King, that's going to help you one step closer to better health.
Absolutely. All right, gut flora. How many people even know about the gut flora? They don't realize that there's such a thing as Candida, yeast, mold, parasites, infections, leaky guts that can start with signs of inflammation, skin rashes. These are all signs. When you see this, you gotta know that there's something going on in your gut, okay? Digestive issues. That can lead to more severe conditions like cancer and diabetes. Everything starts from the gut. And you know the secret behind staying well? Put in the good and take out the bad. That's really all it is. It's just a cycle. We're not meant to have diseases. We created our own diseases, okay? And keep your microbiome healthy with probiotics and prebiotics. They're two different things, by the way. And fermented foods. Today, we brought with us a lot of digestive enzymes. Not a lot, but a fair amount if you guys want to get 1 or 2 bottles. I strongly recommend, if you eat cooked foods, you should be having a digestive enzyme, 1 or 2 before you get to that meal. Why? Because your body's just not going to digest it properly. You think it does, but that's where you feel bloated. That's where you get the inflammation. So let's prevent it. Take a digestive enzyme before. And for the older generation, you're going to need hydrochloric acid. I can almost guarantee that if you came to get tested, you're going to see that you're lacking some hydrochloric acid in your body. Your body's supposed to produce it, but it doesn't produce enough. So let me tell you how hydrochloric acid works. Back there we have 1 hydrochloric acid bottle, it's called HCl, but then we also have the activator. You need to have the 2 together to work. Okay, so when Jordan back there, you go back there, you want to buy a hydrochloric acid, if he doesn't get a chance to speak to you and tell you, don't forget to take the activator with it, take the activator with it. There are 2 bottles that go together. So it's 2 ratio with 1. You need 2 hydrochloric acids for 1 activator.
If you do run into one of those diseases or something tragic that's happening, you've got to make sure to keep in mind that you're staying grateful. So at the end of the day, it can always be worse. And I know that takes a toll when you're telling somebody, especially when you're diagnosed with something like diabetes. But keep in mind that it could always be worse. So try writing down 5 things in the morning that you're grateful for. You can do that on the daily, and that will actually change your entire day. I tried it a couple times, didn't think it was going to work, started writing it down, and I actually had a pretty good day at the end of it. So just something for you to try out and see how it works out for you. If you're religious, you can pray to a higher source and actually exercise that on the daily, and that'll also help in turn have a better day.
Absolutely, and you know what, I vouch for that because I literally write a gratitude journal every day. Would you like to know what I write in mine that's the same one every single solitary time? I was told to do 5 at least, and you can get creative, and I can't imagine, I mean, I could almost thank God for a nice parking spot out there, but what I do thank God for every day is the gift to be able to do the emotion and body code, because truly it is a gift. I never take it that it's my, like to me, I know that I'm just a vessel to be gifted this to work through me to help you guys and to be able to do these shows. I do these shows from the bottom of my heart, wanting to educate everybody so that you all stay in optimal health. That's my mission, and I thank God for the ability to be able to do this. So yeah, get creative. There's plenty of things to be grateful for. Community service. Studies show that even though you may be dealing with a health issue, you can start to feel better faster when you feel purposeful and start offering your services. And there's plenty of different things you can offer in services. It could be working at an animal shelter. You could work at a school, teach kids how to read. When I had kids, I guarantee you there was a lot of teachers waiting for a parent to sign up. Help the kids read, help with the arts and craft booths, help with the fundraisers. Get involved, and you'll feel so much better when you realize your condition's not that bad. You have the ability to go and provide a service for someone.
If you can't find those services, you should try looking out for a community group, because there's actually a lot of people that you can relate to, and a lot of those people might actually have some of the similar things that you have, and they might have success stories that can help you out. So joining the community group, you're able to vent, just boost your mood, just feel better throughout the day. So try that out too. On top of that, you want to make sure you're grounding yourself. And that, it goes deeper than just saying grounding yourself. It kind of goes into like a meditation state. Like this picture here, walking on the beach, very relaxing. We're here in this beautiful San Diego. Definitely recommend taking full advantage of that, going out and just kind of grounding yourself to repositioning in that better state of mind that you can be in.
Thank you. All right, heavy metals. This is huge, guys, really, really huge. I want you to pay really close attention to this. Is there anybody in the audience right now that has amalgam fillings still in their mouth? And I'm talking, they had a cavity and they got a silver filling in there. Is there anybody out there right now that has that? Okay. I strongly recommend you get it removed, but not just by any dentist, by literally a holistic dentist that knows carefully how to remove it. Because here's the secret. Every single time you swallow, you're actually swallowing the mercury in there. And it's very, very damaging, okay? Over time, it will literally affect your brain, your immune, and I can't even begin to tell you what else can creep up. But in the meantime, if you want to keep your teeth clean or even prevent cavities, I'm going to give you another little tip. It's called coconut pulling. Anyone heard of coconut pulling? Raise your hand. Okay, I'm going to explain to you a few things about coconut pulling that you may or may not know, but it's worth me telling you. First of all, the way you do it is you put a little bit of coconut, like a tablespoon or whatever, in a little container, put a little bit of hot water in it so that it melts, okay? And then you want to swish it in your mouth for, here's the thing, no more than a minute. Even though you read, switch it for 4 minutes, if you swish it for that long, you will be swallowing accidentally some of those toxins. Spit it out. Here's tip number 2. Do not spit it out in the sink, because if you do, you're gonna clog up your pipes. You wanna spit it out in a toilet, okay? Please remember that. And again, if you want to do round 2 after the minute, go ahead. So, and then at the end, finalize it with some mouthwash, okay? Because you still might have those toxins still floating in your mouth. Cilantro oil is one thing I want to talk about right here. There's cilantro oil, right there. Cilantro oil drops, they can help with heavy metals. You can actually buy that. I actually bought that from Sprouts, but they're amazing. Just a few drops will get rid of a lot of stuff that you have, especially mold. And silica drops, right there, can help with environmental chemicals. So I want to give you another little secret. How many of you know what chemtrails are? Oh, okay, good. There's quite a few that do. Okay. They're not fun. You think those little planes are making decorations up there, but they're really not. They're shooting down silver nitrate, mold. Go Google it, and I'm not even gonna say more about that. If any of you would like to know more about the chemtrails, leave me your names on all those sheets. There's about 4 sheets there that I hope everybody had a chance to put their name and information, because I will be able to send you stuff ongoingly. When they come my direction, I will send it to you. But chemtrails, people come to me and they think they have flu symptoms. And I check them and their immune's okay. It's not like they have a cold. They have toxicity in them from this. And they breathe it, and then they start to cough, and then they wonder where that cough's coming from. So when they get diagnosed, it turns out it's usually toxicity. So silica drops has helped with that. I actually got that from Sprouts as well. And it really, really helps.
So toxins also that are in the body, you want to make sure that you're detoxing on the regular. So doing cardio, you can sweat, and also get in a sauna. You can also sweat, but sauna specifically the infrared sauna. So you want to make sure you avoid the antiperspirants that block your toxin from exiting, because this can cause cancer. And also you want to avoid the makeup and the shampoos that everybody's using. Ladies, you're beautiful without it. Males probably need to start using it a little bit more. But make sure that you try to stay away from everything that's going to clog those and stay healthy.
All right, liver and gallbladder. This is huge too. How many of you know that your liver needs to be cleaned? Did anybody ever figure that out? Not too many hands up there. Okay, I see a few. Well, you have a liver just like you have a car that needs its oil changed, right? And you need to clean the liver. Some people come see me and have no clue they had one, okay? And meanwhile, I remove all the emotions and they still have the condition, and I'm thinking, okay, let's go into the body code to see why. And their liver is completely crying for help. So this is one main thing you need, and I'm gonna point out, we do have, by the way, we managed to bring this today, we do have bottles of liver ND and gallbladder ND, which I strongly encourage you to go get one today. They're not that expensive, but they will help you a lot. And I'm gonna tell you what I like about Premier Research Lab. Do you notice how it's dark? Those bottles are dark. All Premier Research Lab stuff, whether it be supplements or in bottles like this, is dark, because they're very careful when they make their products. They make sure that the light doesn't touch it. Okay, that the light doesn't go through. They make sure that it's delivered on ground level, that it doesn't really travel in a plane. I don't even think they deliver it to, obviously, across the world. So it's very, offered to the United States. And the other thing I love about them, their supplements are in capsule form. And how many of you know what magnesium stearate is? Not many. Okay, well, magnesium stearate are fillers. So if you're out there and you do not have a Premier Research Lab, because they do not sell Premier Research Lab at Sprouts or any health store. They only sell it through practitioners. You need to know a practitioner like me, and I will give you actually a free account. So please, if you're interested in getting a free account, fill out those forms over there. They need your address in full because they will deliver it to your door. But let me stress how I love Premier Research Lab. Not only does it come in capsule form, it passes all 4 polarities. We're gonna have our keynote speaker to explain polarities to you later today. But they don't have magnesium stearate, and magnesium stearate is a filler. It's like eating chalk. If a company is a good company, they don't need to fill it. They will have a good oil to hold it together. They don't need chalk to hold it together. So when you take a supplement and your belly hurts, it could be, look on the back, magnesium stearate. I want to add one more thing. Magnesium stearate is not the same as magnesium. They're 2 different things, okay? So don't get fooled by that.
And on top of that, we will talk about the colon. So, of course, there are colonics to clean the colon and the coffee, and then must clean the liver. You can get the names of a great place at the back table as well. We also know a lady, we put her here. Her name is Kristen Robbins. You can get your colon and liver cleaned in the same session. Also, it's beneficial to get a biofeedback session to help open all your channels prior to getting a more effective session. And you can get that from Gianna Grant. Her cards are at the back, so check those desks out if you get a chance. And then we can go back there. This quantum physics modality is actually beneficial to optimal health and distress in your body. So,
yes, we are very fortunate. I must tell you, I had a call this morning. Kristen could not make it. Her cards are out there, but Gianna Granton is here with us, so please visit her. She has a biofeedback machine that can do wonders for you, so please check her out there at the back. And I do want to say one very important thing about coffee. This is a coffee enema. It is not coffee to drink. Okay, I had people come to me and they say, oh, I can't stand coffee, it makes me very jittery, I can't do this cleanse. I'm like, you're not drinking it. Okay, it's part of your colonic to get cleaned, okay? And if Kristen was here, she would explain it, but Gianna at the back can easily explain it just as well. So please get information on that. And like I said, if you don't want to do a coffee enema, chances are if you've never cleaned your liver, you got to find a way to do it, okay? Get the liver empties, okay? That's just liquid you can drink. All right, lymphatic massages. I love these. I try and get them at least once a month. And it's not just to relax, but it's literally getting toxins out of there. For every day that you're alive, you need to keep moving the toxins out of your body. If you breathe this air, you need to find a way at the end of the day to clean yourself out, okay? Lymphatic massages is one of them. Essential oils. I love essential oils. I will not anymore spray perfume on me. It's chemicals. You will get dizzy at some point. It may smell good, but it's not real. It's all synthetic. So make sure if you're going to do an oil and it's an essential oil, please make sure it's organic. It makes a big difference. You can actually be doing harm with the cheap essential oils. And I don't care as much that it's certified, but I do care that it's organic. So try at least to do that much. And beneficial oils, some of them, of course, for detox are tea tree, peppermint, eucalyptus. There's antifungal ones, antibacterial, and frankincense.
So with that, you're going to make sure you're checking your hormones. So a lot of things come to play. This is actually a very important slide. I'm going to take a picture of it, take notes on that as well. But cancer cannot live in an alkaline body or a body that is well oxygenated. So when you're checking these levels, you're making sure that everything is in tune with each other. You're actually looking out for yourself a lot more than you actually believe. So various supplements can help with this, and the clinics mentioned on the resources can be an assistant provided with testing.
That's right. De-stress. This is a killer for us. Never mind the EMS and all that, but just not being stressed, it's huge. So stress is one of the biggest killers. These are causing us all kinds of diseases, of course, with our hectic lifestyle. You can't prevent it, okay? But I do want to tell you, I love Donna Eden. And you can Google her on YouTube. She will give you free YouTube videos on even how to better your health. And she believes in this energetic type of thing. You can literally like take your hand and go from your shoulder down and shift your energy around. If you want to better your eyes, you can do figure eights on your eyes. There's all kinds of ways that she teaches us. Another one is to take a stainless steel spoon and go down your spine. Another one is to take the stainless spoon and go on the bottom of your feet. All kinds of tips, and they're quick. There's things you could do and the other thing I love is tapping. Tapping taps on certain meridians in body parts as well. So I bought that package as well. So I have Donna Eden's, I have the tapping one, and the tapping goes with affirmation. So as you tap certain parts of your face, certain parts of your body, and say the affirmations, it calms you down, it does all kinds of things to get you grounded again. And then I also have, I also recommend like yoga, of course, Tai Chi. Today we have a yoga. Someone's going to win a yoga, I think about a month's worth or something. All kinds of great gifts today. Tai Chi, meditation. Then there's devices, okay? Let's say you have all that, you still want more. Devices and treatments can include, like we said before, Jana Granton does biofeedback. And you know what's really cool about Jana Granton's biofeedback? If you don't have time to go for a session and sit there for whatever amount of time is needed, she can work from her house because it's energy, it's quantum physics. And you could be at your house or anywhere in the world. She does people across the world that she doesn't even see all the time, but the energy field is in her skio machine. So it's so neat, and she balanced my husband and I, our whole family, ongoingly. And at the end of the day, she'll give me the report. She says, your hormones were off here and this was that, but she balances them. Unbelievable. And we also have the Scalar wave laser. There's brochures in the back. Love the Scalar wave laser. This is actually FDA approved. It's a handheld laser with also probes. So if you want anti-aging, you got wrinkles or wherever, you just stick the probe in there. If you've got a really major joint pain, there's 3 different probes that do rejuvenation, scar tissues, all kinds of things. Please check out the brochures on that. It's priceless. C-Balance, again, I'm wearing that. I can show you that. And we go back to the oils, essential oils. Melatonin's huge for sleep. If you're not a good sleeper or you're not getting quality sleep and you're not producing enough melatonin, get an essential oil. That's the other way to do it, or a parasympathetic one, which I just got lately. I didn't even know was out there.
So the best natural medicine is actually laughter. So if you ever see me out here, I'll probably be laughing just to keep that de-stress. But I was actually taught this neat little trick if you want to know it. So if you put a pencil in between your teeth and you smile, you'll start laughing. So whenever you get a chance, you just try it out. But works out. But there are actually laughter meetup groups that you can fake it till you make it by doing that drill that I told you about. And the facial expression alone will actually help you. It's just something fun to do, something to get you in a better mood, so you're not walking around all mean and grumpy all day.
Okay. Well, we're going to entertain you a little bit right now, okay? I think we're going to just loosen up a little bit, and we are going to have you watch this short little video to give you a little bit of laughter. Here we go.
Don't write aloud.
He admits the truth, so, okay. Well, hopefully that gave you a little bit of a chuckle at least and put you in a great frame of mind. Did you enjoy that? Okay, great. Now, I want to, whoops, I'm gonna do something. I want to tell you something. Thank you, Chris. First of all, we finished our PowerPoints, and I right now want to share something with you. I was going to take a little break, and then I thought, no, you know what? I'm going to take another 5 minutes to share something with you that got brought to my attention that I think is revolutionary completely. There is something out there right now that is so valuable, and it doesn't take place in the United States where we can get it. But I'm going to show you how people in Okinawa are the healthiest people in the world, and I'm going to tell you why. It's home to more than 400 people who are over the age of 100 and ranked #1 of sanitarians in the world. Are you interested to know why? Does anybody have any guesses why they live longer and disease-free and cancer-free? Anybody might guess? I'm open for suggestions. What is it?
Certain kinds of foods I've read.
Foods? Any particular ones that come to mind?
Certain kind of sweet potato I heard about.
Sweet potato. Okay. Anybody else have any ideas, Teresa?
Is it like the natural salt that they find? I read a story about that.
Okay, it's a thought, but it's not the answer. Anybody else? Okay, I can't see back there. Yeah, go ahead.
Green vegetables and
Green.
fish.
Okay, we'll take that one into account. Anybody else? So far, no one hit it right. I didn't even know it. I was very curious to know what it is. Anybody else? What is it?
Coral calcium.
Coral calcium. Okay, hold your thoughts, and I'm going to tell you what it is. We're going to get to it. And it doesn't get to it right away. It's going to tease you first, but let's see how they live. Not only do they live long lives, but they live healthy and happy too. Those who lived above 90 are free, get this, from any disease, illnesses, and even cancer. They suffer only a fraction of diseases that happen to kill us in America. A fifth in the rate of cardiovascular disease, a fifth in the rate of breast and prostate cancer, and less than half the rate of dementia among similarly aged Americans. Even scientists and researchers are amazed by the longevity of the Okinawans. And for years, they seek to uncover the Okinawan secret that set them apart from the Americans. We still don't have the answer, by the way, but it's coming. All right. Could it simply be a matter of good genes? Not really. It's partially, but it's not everything. But the first generation of Okinawans who migrated to other parts of the world do not live as long as their parents, so it can't really be their genes. So the sanitarians' long lives must be earned some other way. Is it some diet book that attributes to the amount of soy? Not really, because soy, as we know, is GMO, so that's not gonna cut it. Here's the secret. What's the secret food? There it is. Beta glucan. And here's where they get it. Beta glucans are some of the most powerful healing substances known to man. They are nutrients found in several different kinds of food. But all of the foods they are found in the greatest concentration of beta glucan is found, are you ready? The roots of mushrooms. The roots of mushrooms. Don't think you're gonna run out and go get a bunch of roots of mushrooms. It's not gonna cut it. They sterilize these a certain way. They know which ones to pick. They know the right strain. So don't think you can do this yourself. All mushrooms actually have thousands of tiny thread-like roots underneath that grow into the ground or into whatever the mushroom is growing on. And these roots are called myceliums, and they have the strongest and greatest amount of beta glucans. And there they are right there. Feel free to take any pictures of that.
Anna,
Yes.
there was a movie called Fantastic Fungi. Did you see it?
Fantastic fungi.
Yeah, down at Lama Lama.
Cool.
I almost told you mushrooms. So I picked this
Great, it's really good stuff, so I'm glad you thought of that. So beta glucans are so powerful that 3 of the most important drugs ever made were derived from beta glucans. Let's look at the 3 main drugs. We all know penicillin. Oh my goodness. Whoops. All right, we all know about penicillin. It's one of the root prescribed antibiotics in the world, and thanks to penicillin, we all know the story of that one, right? Death rates are 5% what they were in the 1900s. Number 2, the other drug is called glycosporin, a drug used in organic transplants and used as a treatment for diabetes and severe hives. Last but not least, there's Crestin, which is used as the #1 anti-cancer therapy in the world. And most people would never know these medications were created to copy the chemical structure of beta glucans. Did any of you know any of this? Neither did I. That's why we have these shows, to bring information. Okay, there are hundreds of studies we could cite, documented, published stuff that proves that this, get a load of this right here and look. It helps with HIV and AIDS. Beta glucans have also been proven to block and stop the growth of HIV. So yes, it is one of the most powerful antiviral substances today. And think of beta glucans this way. It enters your body. Here's how it works, get it? It enters your body, and like a heat-seeking missile, they call it, travels through your body, finds the disease and the infection, and kills them. And then it pulls them out of your body. Pretty cool. Beta glucans stimulate the white blood production, of the white blood cell production, which turns your hormone system into a powerhouse and ready and equipped to destroy any enemy, harmful germ, and bacteria once it enters your body. It's amazing. Let's just go through really quick some of the other stuff it does. It increases the supply of antioxidants in your body so you can slow down the aging process. It prevents the breakdown of collagen, which of course will melt down your wrinkles and keep your skin nice and firm. It destroys all forms of cancer cells by increasing the production of something called interferon. And remember, the beta glucans we have studied have been proven to fight cancer cells and the HIV virus and help stop them from multiplying. All right. So it's no wonder that many doctors are calling beta glucans the most important wellness discovery of our time. And again, these are some of the things it does. And then lectin is so lectinin, right here, is the 3rd most widely prescribed anti-cancer drug in the world. And it's made from the beta glucan from a mushroom root as well. So this is the bottle. I personally bought one myself. This, I will tell you, is not from Premier Research Lab. I have a mushroom powder from Premier Research Lab. I love it. I did take it. Then this came along, and I put them both side by side. This one just was off the charts. It was so powerful, it was so potent. And they're in capsule form. They have no fillers, no nothing. It's the real deal, the real deal. If you want to know more about this, these are not in your handbooks, but I can tell you what you could do. When you fill out your forms, okay, there's, like I said, there's all kind. If I have your information, I can send you all this good stuff. I can send you the link with the video, because all I did is take out a little bit of the video to show you this. I can show you the full video. I'll just send you the link, and at your leisure, you can watch this and more. There's a lot more on it, with better explanations. But this is what the bottle will look like. The good thing about this company too, it's risk-free. You could try it for 30 days, you don't like it, they don't even ask you questions probably, you can just give it back, so. But I guarantee you'll like it. I've been taking it, I have so much more energy, but I had energy in other ways too, but this really, like, I just know when I test things that it really was extremely potent. Okay, we're going to direct your attention to DJ and Danny. But just real quick though, before you do that, is there anybody up to now that has any questions about it? Yes, maybe we could take a mic. Does someone have a mic? We're gonna come around in the audience. If you have a question, please raise your hand. I'll do my best to answer it at the time that we have here. Thank you, Joseph Fisher. There you go.
What is the name of the company with the mushroom product?
It is Holistic Labs. Holistic Labs. And like I said, if you fill out your name, I will happily send you the link. You can read and talk to them even. Anybody else have any questions that they would like to ask?
I would like details from the Marine, hello Marine, as to how you fought the type 2 diabetes.
Okay, he's gonna come up here and talk about that then. That way everyone can hear him better. Good question. How did he get rid of his type 2 diabetes?
Great question. Nobody wants to hear it. Yeah, I'll give you the details. Nobody wants to hear it, but this is the cut and dry. Actual exercise, proper diet, and not actually overeating all the starchy carbs that she was talking about in detail. So literally everything that you learn about, either it's here or outside of here, learning how to combat diabetes is exactly what you have to apply 100%. So it's more of a understanding that what you have and then not feeling sorry for yourself and saying, oh, well, you know, maybe I can eat some pasta tonight. No, it doesn't work like that. So you have to actually apply every little method that you learn, and then you'll find out that it actually works. But nobody wants to hear that though, so.
It's an effort to stay healthy. It's not like it's just going to happen. You have to be health conscious, and that's why we gave you those wristbands. See, create a heaven here on earth, there's a reason, okay? Be cautious when you're opening that fridge, make good choices. When you go to your grocery store, pick up, you know, the organic. Know that there's chemicals sprayed on the other ones, okay? Keep that in mind. Any other questions before we move on? Okay. If they come to you later in the night, we will have a Q&A if we got time later on as well. If not, after the show, we're going to be talking to all the, you get to interact with the speakers. And that's another great thing about being at these shows live, because you get to ask your questions and interact with the speakers and play our quiz game. And we're going to direct this to DJ Danny, who's going to explain the rest.
All right, well, first I want to say thank you to Anna and Chris. That was a lot of great information. And now we're going to see who can remember what was presented through our Healthy Haven quiz. So we're going to take a 10-minute break to stretch. Need to make a bath or take a bathroom break. Now for the time to do that. And for those who want to earn a free raffle ticket, please stick around for our quiz questions.
And please visit Jordan at the back. This is your great chance right now to go back there and check out the products. We did bring a limited amount. You know, just go check it out and see if there's anything that will be of value to you. And I guarantee that you're going to find a lot of good stuff back there. Thank you.
Also, everyone, if you'd like to attend a mini workshop. Gentlemen, it is time to head to the second part of our show. So let's call upon our hosts once again, Leah and Chris Fisher.
Welcome back again, everybody. I hope you all had a chance to earn some raffles and check out the products at the back and interact with the speakers. Again, the beauty of being at a Healthy Haven show live. All right, I would like to introduce to us a very special keynote speaker who, luckily for us, he lives in Escondido. He's local. and he owns an herb store in Escondido. I would like to bring upon Keith Smith from the herb store in Escondido, where he also practices iridology and a very beneficial modality that is called reversing your chronic reverse polarities that I hardly knew much about. But when I met him, I thought, wow, this is really interesting and it's so different. And as you know, why do we have these shows? Because I want to bring you 21st century information. We want to be different than all the other stuff that you read ongoingly. Let's give a warm round of applause for Keith Smith. Thank you so much for being here. Great to have you. This is Keith Smith. Thank you very much. All right. Keith is going to sit over there. We're going to talk. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what interested you with chronic reverse polarities? And we're going to give Keith our mic.
Hi. What interested me, I was going to be, I wanted to be a medical doctor, and I started taking pre-med and was an A student. Did all the things right to get into medical school. And the day before medical school got started, I got injured. I got attacked on the street in San Francisco by a gang, and I got hit on the head, and I was blind for 14 days. And I was about 2 years overall in convalescence. I missed my appointment to medical school. And so I went to regular college. And, it wasn't the easiest thing because I had a wife and 3 kids. So I had a few things to do. I had to work at a couple of jobs and go to school. And little did I know that as much as I would have liked to have been the neurosurgeon that I wanted to be, I ended up as an herbalist, a health professional many years later. And to my knowledge, God had been preparing me apparently for a real practice of helping humanity. And I've spent 40 years now in my practice serving people that were ill and with all kinds of ailments, everything from chronic cancer to my specialty really is autoimmune disease, which are considered some of the hardest things to heal. And in my practice, I haven't been speaking much. I'm really busy with my practice and I see a lot of people. And I just thought before I left I should get out and teach some new healers and things like this, some things about my work, because I work with some things that really work. And I'm kind of a very practical healer in that, I just have to fix people. I can't stand not to. So I just really work with some very simple things that I found work. And so I didn't have a show yet, and this to come out with and stuff. This is my first venture out as a speaker in a long time. So you're getting my worst performance tonight, but I promise to be better if you like me and you want to come again. Because I'd really like to inform people. There's a lot of very simple things to the healing process. And I would like a show of hands with something. Do you really believe there's an incurable disease? Anybody here believe there's an incurable disease? What do you think it is? Anger? Oh.
That's where the emotion code comes in.
That's where the emotion code's very good for anger. But I've worked with 40 years, and the hardest things that are supposed to be able to be healed are things like MS and lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, and that whole classification of diseases. I have found actually has a very simple cause and a very simple thing that heals it. And if you'd like, I'd love to share that with you tonight. So I don't believe those are considered some of the hardest disease. I work with cancer all the time, and cancer under many circumstances would be one of the easiest diseases to heal. And so I'm here just to add whatever you want me to take. If you have any particular questions, I'll go any place you want me to.
My question would be, what is your protocol for someone who approaches you with chronic reverse polarities?
Well, let me explain what chronic reverse polarity
let's start with that. That's a great idea.
In the first place. We are an electrical system. And any electrical system has north and south poles. or what we call polarity. Most people don't know this, but if you come on and take a hammer, for example, and you knock on a magnet and bang on one of the ends of the magnet, if you stress one of the ends of the magnet, it will reverse its poles. If you stress the magnet in general, it will often reverse its poles. So none of you humans have any stress, do you? Maybe just a little. And so when we get stressed, we're this electromagnetic device with north and south poles all along our body. And when we get under a little bit of stress or prolonged stress, we reverse. Sorry, I'm not. It's been a while. So I'm not used to this. So I promise I'll get used to it. What happens to you is if you get banged on with a little bit of a stress, you'll do the same thing a magnet will, because you're an electromagnetic device. You will reverse your north and south poles. When you do this, and your polarity is reversed, you have the equivalent of a short in your electrical system. How many of you have ever suffered from the disease called chronic fatigue syndrome? Many of you. In fact, has anybody in this audience had an autoimmune disease at all? Do you remember the fatigue going along with that? So chronic fatigue is really one of the most common things in the world. When you get electrically reversed, you have the equivalent in your body of a short in your electrical system. And that short starts lowering the voltage of every cell in your body. And the strength and the electrical resistance and the actual immune system of every cell of your body is run like everything else in your body on power. And when you get reversed from some type of stress, your power starts to diminish and your cellular energy lowers, and that's when you become susceptible to disease. And I found there's not a disease that you can't fix by changing that and raising the energy back up. And I do that with some simple greens. I brought a couple of them with me. This is one, I don't know where we set the other one. But spirulina is one of the things I use. This is called Ultimate Green Zone. But just holding these things near the body. Did you notice that you felt a little better, the person I had hold this?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was because I was away from her.
Oh, okay. So there was somebody in the audience that was having a problem because somebody was wearing a perfume or something that she had trouble with. So I handed her one of these because sometimes if you just hold this for a while, the energy from it will pick your own energy up that's being brought down by the smell you don't like. So if you're in an environment that takes away your energy, there are a lot of greens in nature that will just put that energy right back in you. So I work very simply. I use either a capsulated program or a drink, and I use it to fix almost everything I'm brought. I use it to fix terminal cancer. I use it to fix autoimmune disease. I use it to fix just about every disease in the world. Very simple treatment. I put you on greens. I alkalize the cell and fill it with high oxygen. And with both high oxygen and alkalinity, almost every disease goes away.
So is this just one session that you go through? How long does it usually take for this to completely?
It takes the average person, depends on what the disease is, but the average person that comes to me takes about 7 months to heal a chronic disease, any chronic disease, whether it would be MS, lupus, rheumatoid. I have some examples of a person with lupus that had a whole paragraph of things wrong with her, and she was going to come to me. She's not here. I was very disappointed because I thought it would be nice to hear her story. Is she here?
Yeah.
Oh, you're here? All right.
Well, should we give her a mic then? Would you like to
Why don't you come up
here? Would you like to
do you
come up
mind
and share
being
your
on stage
story?
for just a minute?
You will be on YouTube permanently.
I
if
won't
that's okay
embarrass
with
you, you know that. This
It's
is
all
one of
good.
my patients.
Great. Welcome.
You can take my spot.
I have something with just a paragraph of her. This is better than just talking about something. I'd like you to have a live example. I will always remember that I had been treating her for exactly 7 months, which is the time that it usually takes me to fix somebody. Lupus was among the things that she had a 5th stage kidney disease, chronic fatigue syndrome.
Lupus, Sjogren's, stage 5 kidney disease.
A little of everything. And was coming in to see her for her 7-month checkup. And I was coming in into my office from out in my store, and she was sitting there crying. And do you mind sharing? I asked you why you were crying.
I started to see Keith just with a list of issues that I had, and the first night that I started taking the medication, I slept over 8 hours, and that was the first time in about 15 years. I've had lupus since I was 15. I'm 41. I was having chemotherapy every 2 weeks, one for my lupus and then one for the kidney disease. Since I started seeing Keith, I haven't had to have chemotherapy. I've gone down on almost all of my medication that I take.
And you're healthy as a horse, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't she look it?
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's a really cool story.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to talk about something that was real and alive, and I hope to have a couple of patients here to say this. But here's a person coming with lupus and chronic fatigue and a whole paragraph full of things that are wrong with her. 7 months later, she's sitting in my office crying for a minute. I'm walking in saying, "What's wrong?" And she said, "You know, I don't remember whether it was I'm so happy or I'm so just overwhelmed because I've been this way since I was 15, and I didn't really honestly believe I'd ever see a healthy day again in my life." And I'll never forget that. You know, I mean, I've had the privilege of hearing that a lot in my career, but there is nothing, if you're going to be a healer, that you could hear from a patient that would be better than what she told me. It was just, it brought tears to my eyes. And I also thank you for being a good patient. You did what I told you. And no doctor can be a good doctor if they don't have a good patient. So anything else happened to you, or do you want to talk about it? I know you're not used to being up here, and it's been a long time since I've been up here. I'm not used to it either, so I have to get used to the mic.
My white blood cell count has gone up every single month. It was in the low 2000s. Every single month it's gone up double digits at least. Just my overall health has improved.
You look healthy as a horse. Your aura is great, and I don't think you have any of those things anymore, do you?
No, I feel great.
All right.
Let's give her a hand for good health.
Give her a hand for
Being so
coming out
kind to
to
be up here and
us.
share that. That wasn't easy to do, but thank you. It's a great example.
Now, if I can tell you that I have thousands of her. I'm not bragging about it. I've just been working for a long time. I'm old. You know, I'm 81. My girlfriend out there is 82. And I've been doing this a long time, 40-some years. And I love my practice, but I get people like her with a lot wrong with them. They come in with a whole paragraph of things that are wrong. And when I look at them, I have a major thing that in the way that I look at the body that's a little different than the way most people look at it. And do we have any doctors or nurses in here? Any hands raised? I just want to say that I use a lot of simple diagnostics. And I was looking for my pendulum.
Oh.
But
Sure.
do you have yours?
Yes
Oh,
and no.
no, I said it here. Thank you.
Oh, you got it.
For example, when she came in and I first tested her, I used her root chakra, which is right here, and a male at the root chakra rotates clockwise. A female is supposed to rotate counterclockwise. So if she was not rotating counterclockwise, she was rotating clockwise. That's a very simple way of testing somebody. But with the electrical reversal, that's my specialty. That's really almost the only test I have to do.
Put the mic to them.
It's the only test
Put
I
the
have
mic to your mouth so we can hear you. We want to hear you.
It's the only test that I have to do to find out whether you're electrically reversed or not, is to see if your polarity's in balance. And if your polarity's out of balance, there's actually really no way you can get well When a person's polarity is out of balance, you could do the best treatment that you could in the world, and many times it doesn't work. It's the reason why a lot of times healers will use a remedy that, you know, works for something, and then all of a sudden they've got another patient and it doesn't work for them. Almost always that patient is electrically reversed from stress. And while they're reversed, when you're reversed like that, treatments either will not work or will not hold. So the first thing I do with any patient is to test their polarity and get them out of reverse polarity if they're in it, so I know that my treatment can work. Almost any treatment can work that balances the body if you're not electrically reversed. So to me, the first thing I do for any patient is to check their polarity and see if they're out of balance. And if they are, that's the first thing I fix. Because without fixing that, treatments won't work or hold. Any questions on that?
How many times in a month you see the patient?
How many?
How many times?
You know, I see a patient the first time, and then I like to see a patient once a month. My checkups are $10, so I'm not very expensive. So I see them and I like to work with a patient for a while. I want the performance to happen. I don't want them to leave till they're well.
But why 7 months? Why not try to have more sessions and
What? Can you say that again? Because I'm
She's
not hearing.
wondering, I got the question, like why 7 months? Can it be shorter? Like why are we waiting until 7 months?
It just seems that for the average person to take about 7 months. If they're a chronically reversed person, it takes about 7 months to unreverse it. And it doesn't work to take more of everything and make it try to go faster. It just seems to take that kind of time.
How do you reverse?
I reverse the polarity with herbs. If I'm making a drink for you, I use spirulina and ultimate green zone or one of those powders. I have you make a drink for yourself in the morning. Every morning, if I'm using capsules, I put you on about 4 things. And it seems to take the average person about 7 months. I have some people go faster than that, but that's the average time that it takes. And I've been working with it for only 40 years, so when I say it takes 7 months, it's pretty, you know, with 40 years worth of patients, it's pretty standard.
May I interrupt? I happen to have had chronic reverse polarities myself, and my mom and David, my whole family went to them, well, at least the 3 of us did, and I take that spirulina stuff with the trim zone every single day. I started to take a break, now it's like 4 times a week. But I can tell you the day that I don't take it, you can truly and truly feel the lack of energy. Even though I wear my seatbelts or whatever, it pumps me up. It is like such dark green powder. If you look at it, you couldn't get more dark green. It's the real deal of spirulina. And it just reverses everything. It's really, really strong stuff. And you know, you could just put it in anything. I make a smoothie out of it, and that's my smoothie. I sip it throughout the entire day. It's like a good meal almost. I almost replace it with a meal sometimes.
I make it for my girlfriend and I every morning. I put a little vanilla almond milk, and then I put the 2 powders in. I pour that in the blender and just blend that for a few seconds, and often have that in the morning as my drink.
Does it come in capsules? She wants to.
It comes in capsules also. Yeah, you can do it as a capsulated program, or you can do it as a drink. People either like capsules or the drink, one or the other. I like to have it both ways because I just want to get you well. I don't want you to have a bad time taking it.
If there's not any more questions, we're going to move on with, I know you do iridology, which is so fascinating too. I'd like him to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I really wish we had some pictures for you because
we
the
have
next...
that book. You want to show them the cover of the book just to give you an idea? Did anyone ever have iridology reading done on them? Do you know what that is? Someone here did? Okay, cool. Anybody else? Okay.
Yeah, I was taught physical iridology by Dr. Bernard Jensen, and was a student of his for quite a while. He used to send patients to me, which was one of the nicest compliments I ever had. And then I ran into somebody, came up to my home and said, you know, there's somebody down at the Philosophical Library in Escondido that's teaching about the eye, and it's not physical, it's spiritual. And that turned out to be the man that ended up writing this book, What the Eye Reveals. And Looking at eyes is really like looking at planets. I mean, we'd all like it if we had a show right now, we could look really close at all the planets of the world and go, oh, look at that and look at that. Well, that's what an iridologist does in your eye, because you can see where the heart is in the eye, you can look at the liver, you can see if the whole body's inflamed. How many people here have green eyes? One? Any other green-eyed people here? There's no such color. Yeah, there's actually no such color. If you look at that eye really close, it's a blue eye with a lot of yellow in it, which means there's kidney and urinary tract weakness in the eye, and that yellow overlying the natural blue eye makes them green. But there is really no true yellow green eye. It's a mixture of colors, but the eye is a great way of looking at the health. Dr. Bernard Jensen used to teach that here in the United States, and I had the gift of studying with him, but this man came along and taught me how to read the eye spiritually. And this is my favorite. I mean, it's just amazing what you can tell about another person from their iris. How their mind works, how they like to do things, whether they like to do what you tell them to or not. I mean, you can just tell what their mind is like from the eye. And can you imagine, as a therapist, what a nice thing it is to know your patient and what would make them vulnerable to being sick? So I really love this way of looking at it, because I spend a few minutes with somebody and I know them as well as their parents did. And I can ask them a few questions and I can find out how they interrelate with people and where their stress is coming from. And it really is helpful then to give them the right things to do to handle that kind of stress and to change it, as well as using the herbs and the vitamins and the things that you would use to heal the physical, to also heal the mental, emotional, spiritual at the same time. There's really very few people, if you can do all of that don't get well. And I kind of have a practice where there aren't many people I don't get well. I'm not used to failure. Mieko, could you stand for just a minute? Yeah, please. Mieko's my girlfriend. When we started, she had rheumatoid arthritis. Mieko, is your rheumatoid arthritis still there, or is it gone? Gone. So, what I'm really presenting up here is something I want to impart to other healers. I want other people to know my work. I am 81 years old. I'm thinking of retiring soon, and I want to teach my work to others because I'm healing the diseases that most people can't cure, and most of the natural practitioners can't cure. I'm not bragging about that. That's not where I'm coming from. What I just want to tell you is I found there's no incurable disease. And I love that, and I think the world should be taught to that. I don't think we want to. If you look at, we were talking earlier about diabetes. 35% of the United States people have diabetes, and do you know that taking metformin has at least 4 other major diseases that are caused by the metformin? And that's the way medicine is today. We have a lot of things where we're being given drugs and things, but oftentimes they're causing other things that we end up with that may even be worse than the original things we went to medicine for. And medicine, do you really think that the pharmaceutical companies want cure? As an audience, is it okay if I say that? I don't think they want cure. And I have just found that what we consider to be our toughest diseases are not tough at all. We just haven't found the right thing. The young lady that was so nice to come up here and tell her story, is lupus considered a healable disease in this country? In general? Dear, is your lupus gone? I mean, you're not my shill, right? You're saying you're a patient of mine. I didn't think you were here. I'm so happy that you came. But all that paragraph full of things, yeah, it took me 7 months, but are you kind of glad they're all gone?
I'm
And you know, I've had a practice where I've been doing that for a long time, and I really like it. I want to teach people, Anna's family, and anybody else that's. Are there any apprentice health practitioners that we have out here today that are coming to learn something from this class because you want to be a health practitioner? No, none of you? You're all just here to learn about some healthy things. Anybody have some things wrong with them that they want to ask a question about? I would welcome to take a question if you have a disease. Yes?
Arthritis.
Arthritis? Hip arthritis. All arthritis is really, almost all arthritis is an over-acid condition in the body. And so providing an alkaline environment for the body is one of the best ways to clear arthritis. But also, you can't clear the arthritis if you're also reversed. So for example, if I were to work on you with arthritis, the first thing I would want to check is, are you reversed or not? Do you want to come up and I can demonstrate that? Would you like that? To see?
If you have arthritis and it's bone on bone, how would that?
Bone on bone.
Bone on bone takes some time, but there is no incurable disease, really. Yeah, I'm just going to have her step up.
Do you want to sit or stand?
It doesn't matter. Let her sit. It's probably easier and more comfortable. So, try to get so I'm not standing right in front of you. I need your lap for a minute. Thank you.
So just so everyone's noticing, he's using a pendulum, which is what I use as well when I do the emotion code, and it can read the subconscious
So
mind and everything.
a female at the root chakra is supposed to rotate counterclockwise. So I'm just letting this go back and forth, and I'm asking the body, show me the direction of the magnetics at the root chakra, please. She's going clockwise. So, for example, can you do this for me?
Absolutely. So we're going to put it on our body so we can pick up the energy for this
Well,
working.
I just want to
this power.
start.
Just shape
Because
attention.
here she is going clockwise instead of counter. Can you take a hold of that and hold it against your chest? It'll take about a minute. Now she's going counterclockwise. And the longer she holds it, the stronger she'll get. So if I put her on 2 powders that do that, then the first thing I would try to do is to get her out of the chronic reverse polarity by changing her to where all her chakras are going the right way and feeding her with something that alkalizes the body at the cellular level and makes all the acid go away, and the arthritis would gradually disappear. It's very simple.
Well, thank you for demonstrating that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for Any other diseases present?
I'd like to know about osteoporosis.
Yes.
Does anybody else want osteoporosis? I had a feeling.
You know, and osteoporosis is a complex disease in the sense that it can have more causes than we think. Primarily, the major cause of osteoporosis is a digestive issue. People who don't digest well really do not assimilate all the things that they need to feed their bones. So it usually starts with a digestive issue. So I would start with enzymes. I would also start like I would with everybody. The first thing I do with everybody I see is I test their polarity. So I look at the root chakra. You can look at if I was starting over, I probably wouldn't have picked the root chakra. I would have probably picked the heart chakra. That way I wouldn't have to be in anybody's crotch. So to speak. I still wish I had changed that and started with that. Once you've done something for a really long time, it's hard to change it. But a male is supposed to go clockwise. A female is supposed, if you're going the opposite way, you are electrically reversed. If you're electrically reversed, your immune system energy is destroying you instead of protecting you. And that is really the cause of almost all our most serious diseases. I know that's too simple. I'm not setting up that I know more than anybody else or anything like that. But I've worked with these things for 40 years, and I have thousands of patients like her that have diseases that aren't supposed to be curable, and they're coming into me after a certain period of time, and everything that was wrong with them is gone. I've been doing this kind of quietly. I don't advertise. My word is, I don't have to. My business is all word of mouth and always has been. Everybody that comes to me sends me their friends and their family. Yes.
What about problems with the bladder?
What?
Problems with the bladder.
Problems with the bladder? How old are you?
5'7".
5'7". There are lots of herbs that are for the bladder. I have that problem myself. I am going to be 82, and I have a little bit of bladder leakage once in a while, and I'm taking herbs for that. But and basically, it's not the easiest thing in the world to heal. It's something also that comes on with age. But I would use hydrangea. I would use kidney formulas for the whole urinary tract formulas. I would also make sure you're not reversed.
Okay.
And try to solve it that way.
Where are you located? Right
I'm-
here in Escondido. We have this whole information right here. 360 North Midway in Escondido. Lucky for us, he's local. We're going to keep this moving. If there's any more questions at this point, we're going to have to wait till the end of the show. And he is going to be around, so we're going to just kind of make sure we have enough time for our memorial ceremony at the end of this all. But we want to thank Keith so much for explaining all this. This is an amazing amount of information we got. And the reason we're doing this is to give hope to all of you, to let you realize that there is hope out there. Cancer is not a death sentence. Diabetes isn't either. My dad just kind of went the wrong direction. But that's, again, it has to do with lifestyle, it has to do with knowledge. We're all about, if you look at the front of my handbooks, knowledge is power, and we're here to get that knowledge. Danny?
We want to thank everyone who shared their stories. It's quite obvious that Keith can make quite a positive difference. And let's take a few minutes for a question you may have for any one of our speakers right now.
Yeah, we basically got a fair amount of questions. I think we're gonna wrap it up here and do what now, Keith?
All right, so if we're going to wrap that up, then we'll let everyone know you do have a chance to speak to all our speakers after the show. But first, let's give all of our speakers a warm round of applause for enlightening us with such valuable information.
Our pleasure.
And a special thank you once again to Keith Smith for all that he shared with us today.
Okay, thank you, Danny. We're going to end our show tonight with a very special ceremony to honor all those who are listed on the screen. First of all, I do want to show you one thing, though. This is in your handbook. Please take good note of this. We're going to have a ceremony coming up right now, but before we go into that ceremony, I want to, first of all, while I go through this, all of you will receive a little dove that one of our Marines is going to pass around. Make sure you get a dove, and make sure you get a poem that goes with it, because we're going to do a very beautiful thing right now. I want you to acknowledge that these resources are all in your handbook. That's why I say these handbooks are valuable. Okay, please take a look at it. There's Keith Smith right there. There's the Cancer Center for Healing. I want you to be aware that that one, you don't have to go all the way to Mexico for it. It's in Irvine, okay? Dr. Jurgen Winkler also does quantum functional medicine. Gianna Granton, we've heard her name several times tonight. Please have a chat with her. It's amazing the work she does. Kristen Robbins could not be here today, but she can take care of a colon therapy. Hope for Cancer, we're giving 10% of all our ticket sales today to Hope for Cancer. Is there anybody here that has cancer that would like help financially to go through the treatments of any way, whether it be to go to a cancer clinic or to see Keith or myself or anybody here, because we can help you. So just let me know. We can talk about it after the show. Please come see me. I don't want to point anybody out, but just know that you can come talk to me about that. And then CHIPSA is in Mexico, stands for CHIPSA. It's a therapy hospital. you want to avoid going all the way there, there's other ways to do it. Okay, we are going, oh, and don't forget also, I mentioned Donna Eden, the energy medicine, and the devices that we have. Please continue to check out my website. It's a lot of stuff in there. This whole show, in case you didn't take enough notes or anything, will be on that website. KUSI News, if you missed it, is on my website. If you received this magazine, if you want to know more about the emotion code, that I was on this magazine as well as the San Diego Voyager. It talks about the emotion code very thoroughly. Just open it in there. This was a few months ago, I think about a year ago, I was on this one. They value the emotion code and put me on there for that. So anyway, we're going to get ready for a ceremony, and it's a very special ceremony. So we're going to bring Chris Fisher up here, and the Marine Sergeant, please come up here as well. Okay, here we go.
There was just something I wanted to say.
Oh, please,
that
yes.
I usually include, and I've done this in a long time, so I didn't include it. In testing the whole world, 66% of the world is electrically reversed.
Wow.
Along the way.
Okay, because you don't have a mic, I'm going to repeat that. Keith Smith just added that 66% he mentioned of the world is chronically reversed. That's a high number. Keep that in mind. Okay, let's all stand here. Okay, we are going to name off these names, and may these names that we are going to name off be remembered and celebrated in our lives. May their spirits continue to fill our hearts, as they will always still be a part of us, and may their legacy continue to live on. Standing in a moment of silence. Okay, standing in a moment of silence as we call and honor the names of, and I'm going to start with my own dad, Morris Teshuba, in which we dedicate this show to beloved father, grandfather of the Teshuba and Mintz family.
Marcus Mintz.
Leah Belford.
Irving Belford.
Adam Jerome.
Michael Galliper.
Andy and Etty, beloved parents of Monica Ilescu.
Slojan Demitsky.
Adam Jerome, brother of Paula Bissett.
Maga and Paga, grandparents of Paula Bissett.
And Alexander Banjol, father of Sue Petrovic, and grandfather of Melissa Petrovic. I happen to know them. Okay, may these names be remembered and celebrated by our lives. May their spirits continue to fill our hearts, as they will always still be part of us. And may their legacy continue to live on. Okay, we're going to take a dove. May each of you get a dove. Whoever has the doves over there, please pass them out with the poem, and I'd like one too up here. Who's giving out the doves? Okay, we're going to do a special poem in honor of all these people. So whether you have a loved one or not, is there any names out there of anybody who does not have their name out there and would like to, give honor to their beloved that has passed on? Please raise your hand. We'd be more than happy to announce the names. Yes?
Amy Maud Young Kelly, my mother.
Your mother? Can I have her name again, please?
Amy Maud Young Kelly.
Amy, Mom, okay. Yeah, just give her the mic. I'd like to hear it very clearly.
Amy Maud Young Kelly.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you. And we're going to give you each a dove and a poem, and together we're going to recite this. Thank you very much.
Tyler Merrick.
Beautiful.
Matthew Jones.
Anybody else? Okay. So let's come up here, sergeants, and all right, together we're going to recite this poem. And it's a cute little thing, I'll keep your doves. I do want to tell you, I apologize for these doves being very small. My goal when I saw them online, they looked a lot bigger. Even though I saw the measurements, I thought, oh, they can't be that tiny. I thought they were going to be the size of your palm. I apologize for that, however, it's the meaning behind it and the poem behind it and the spirit behind it. So let's together read on behalf of this poem over here to our beloved, and we can read this all together. All right. I'm sending a dove to heaven with a parcel on its wings. Be careful when you open it. It's full of beautiful things. Inside are a million kisses, wrapped up in a million hugs, to say how much I love you, and to send you all my love. I hold you close within my heart, and there you will remain, to walk with me throughout my life, until we meet again. All right, so to end this, I want to say, may we continue to carry the knowledge that we learned today, and allow the divine to help us reach optimal health as we bring a healthy haven here on earth. I'd like to thank you all for coming, and may you please focus your attention to DJ Danny for some very important announcements. Again, thank you, and may you all remain in optimal health, and please help yourself to the back. We do have time now to mingle with the guests and with the speakers and with the practitioners back there. And I want to thank everybody again, the videographers once again, Jonathan and Lourdes, and all the videographers and the sponsors that sponsored the show. Thank you so very much. Appreciate all you've done.
Hey, Joe, this time we're going to ask everyone to please stay seated for some quick announcements. But first, please take a few minutes to fill out your Healthy Haven survey, as your feedback is most valued. And in return, you will receive a free raffle to receive one of the many gift certificates. Also, we also encourage everyone to take advantage of the many EMF products, supplements, energy healing pendants, and so many other products that are all discounted for events, today's event only. And lastly, if you wish to attend any mini health workshop in between our next Healthy Haven show, please fill out your information at one of our back tables. And once again, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Remember to check out our website for our next show, and may you all continue to live a healthy haven here on Earth.
Do you know what